Yo, so I wanted to give my final post-stream evaluation of how I feel about Thor and the rest of the Vanguards going into Season 2. It is safe to say, right off the bat, that Thor does feel like he's one of the weakest Vanguards out of the bunch. Even with the Penny Parker buffs, those things look kind of huge, and I did feel like all Penny Parker needed was some skirmishing damage and some skirmishing power, so if this helps her at all in just the small moments where she has no mines up, then yeah, I really feel like Thor might be kind of outclassed here in the meta. I think the only character next to him is going to be like Doctor Strange. That guy seems like he's just worthless. He can't one-shot anybody through their ultimates anymore, so like Inviswoman, he can't kill anybody through that because his Maelstrom of Madness got nerfed, and then the Gamma is removed from the game now, or like disabled, so there's no big bonus for him and Hulk. That got moved over to Namor, so we might be seeing more Hulk again if people want to run those comps. They want to run like Banner plus Magneto or something, but we saw how strong the team ups with the tanks were right off the bat with Strange and Banner that took over the meta for quite a long time. I guess it would have been all of like Season 1 up until they eventually nerfed it, and then it became like the Thing or just Groot. But then we saw like Thor and Captain America, so those two characters didn't really mesh well together. But usually any main tank with a side tank, so Magneto and Emma Frost, they do seem like they pair pretty well together because she can go into her melee form, off tank, do a lot of damage to the back line, or just peel melee characters, and then Mag can just stay in the front line, shield off the heals that are coming in, or just be a big unit that can survive for a while because he has his shields. Just looking at the list right now, it does seem like Thor is gonna be the weaker of the bunch. However, you still have characters like Venom and the Thing. They stall for a long time and they can pop off with their ultimates pretty well, but yeah, it does seem like our boy is kind of left in the void. But now, how do I feel about the buffs in general? I do feel like the buffs are good. I feel like they're all very, very good. It's really annoying to hear everybody in the comments section that's kind of just like, oh yeah, why'd they nerf Thor? What'd they do to his HP? You guys just make us look dumb, because they didn't nerf Thor at all. All they did was remove the team up from the game. They just disabled it. The team up was a privilege that we got. Like, NetEase design team is comfortable with Thor being at 525 HP as a Vanguard. That's what they say, because his base stats are 525. So I mean, that's why there is a big question in my chat constantly being asked about, oh yo, what's gonna happen when Thor loses this bonus? Is it gonna happen, Jeremy? What do you think about Season 2? And hey, those guys cooked, because they were right. Holy cow. I did not see it coming, but yeah, NetEase just, they were like, bruh, have you seen how broken Thor Storm is? Oh my god, that combo is insane. I mean, if you guys remember, the Thor team up was pretty broken. It took over the entire meta for a whole 2 days after Gamma got nerfed, but hey, it is what it is. If in Season 2.5 they bring back a bonus for Thor, or maybe he's gonna get like a team up bonus with Ultron, who knows? Like, Thor has nothing going for him though. He's got actually nothing, but we'll go into that after this. That sucks, but maybe in the future, if the team up bonus returns, then Thor will have more HP now. I'm not looking at this buff as like, well, next time the team up is back, they're just gonna bring his HP back down. Nah, I look at this like, oh, they believe that Thor needs more HP to survive, so they gave him more. And when the bonus comes back, then he'll have 700 HP. But as of right now, we'll just have to deal with it. I genuinely believe that this buff it's good. I believe that Thor has a lot of problems with gap closing in general. He can't get to the enemies, and getting around that edge or that corner, this extra movement speed is gonna help a lot. It's nothing like I addressed in the original video where I had somebody in my chat respond, oh, it's a 2-second difference. Not at all. Those differences are not going to be seen that drastically. It's not like they gave him the flash boots, but in my opinion, it will still help him catch up to characters that he couldn't catch up to before. The hope is that the speed replicates the exact same scenarios that came out of you needing that extra 25 HP, if that makes sense. So this player put it into words pretty perfectly. This kind of blows because there's been a lot of scenarios where I've survived with 25 HP. So in theory, this bonus movement speed that we were granted, this will be the new niche scenario as opposed to surviving with 25 HP extra. You know what I mean? I guarantee this extra movement speed will find us these random niche scenarios that we got from before, where it was like, oh, we got around the corner with 1 HP. Now that we have 25 less HP, if that ever happens again, we're cooked. But hopefully the movement speed will now bring us these random scenarios where it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I caught up to that guy a little bit faster so I could get 2 more shots in so I could kill him instead. Or maybe I dashed around the corner 1 pixel faster, and that was the deal breaker between me and getting shot by a Punisher. That's kind kind of how I'm looking at this. It's just they traded out niche for niche, and the thing is, regardless, this is still a buff to Thor. He still got buffed. This is honestly how characters become meta. They don't just drop a fat load on their head, and if they do, usually the design team screwed up and they didn't have that in mind. Like with Gamma when it came out, I don't believe the design team meant for it to be as strong as it actually was, one-shotting people from across the map, but you know, they worked on it and it got better. But in this instance though, they're just trying to give him the Venom treatment, which is just give him more HP, give him a knockback, make the knockback pull him in, add more and more and more up until he eventually just becomes strong. We'll see what happens. I like the buff though. Whatever happens, if Thor is super underplayed, he's gonna get even more buffs and he's gonna become stronger. But in my opinion, I think that Thor is gonna start wrecking house in lower ranks. I think this high movement speed helps out his 1v9 potential heavily, but the smoothness is incredibly hard to describe. The only way I can describe it would be going from about 60 frames to 120 frames. Your character just feels smoother. He just feels better. Dashing in, when you hit the enemy, popping your awakening, even running at the enemies, you just feel smoother. You feel better, you feel faster. Oh yeah, and as for the combo, the OG combo by the Sovereign, you can still do that combo. It's still in the game. They did not patch no animation cancel. NetEase maybe does see that this character is kind of dookie sometimes, so the hammer throw, hey, this animation cancel might actually be our deal breaker, boys. I'm not gonna lie. We might have to just learn this and deal with it so we can one-shot these characters, because there's not a lot going for Thor right now. But if they kept the animation cancel in the game, at least they're giving us hope. At least they said, hey, it's not that broken, boys. Or they just don't know about it. Either way, keep it low, but learn it, boys. Actually learn it. What I would do to change him now, there's been a lot of chat about that in my Discord server. If not in there already, go check it out. Pretty hype server. We have a lot of members, a lot of active members. We have 600 members and a lot of active members who are constantly typing, constantly helping, doing math in the Discord server, coaching. They're just around. They're just goats. Join in, hop in, and say hi. But yeah, the discussion around this, in my opinion, what they could do to Thor to make him not insanely broken, to not make him over the top by giving him like some crazy ultimate change where he's slowing all of the enemies below, or like knocking enemies over, or going through shields. I've heard a lot of that where it's like, oh, make his ultimate go through shields. Make it so if he hits the ground and anyone's around them, they get like CC'd for a little bit. Make it so he does more damage with his ultimate. Make it so it slows below in your AoE. Overall, I think CC in the game is really toxic, and I believe that a slow is pretty toxic. You can put that into crowd control as well, but change the two up. Make sure it's known that like stuns and slows. CC in general is pretty toxic. Slows are way more toxic in a game like this than stuns, but I could just say either way, objectively, CC in a game like this period is just bad. So I wouldn't say add more CC. It's hard to also to say add more damage, because adding more one-shots in a game like this is also pretty toxic, but I've also heard Lightning Realm make it so you can have it like be a Winston bubble. People are saying they want that. They want it so it's like damage reduction if you sit inside the bubble, or just like damage blocked completely. Like a Winston bubble, I guess. Nah, I don't think that either. I think something small, like quality of life, maybe to a Storm Surge, where if you make it so if you hit somebody against a wall, kind of like this new character, Emma Frost, that's something, potentially. I believe that Thor should have always had that, where it was like if you hit somebody into a wall, they take more damage, or they get stunned a little bit, or it's just some interaction. But it's really frustrating when Thor smashes somebody into a wall, and the character, instead of being locked in the corner now, just like teleports behind you because they have nowhere to stand, and you kind of just took their area by dashing, you know what I mean? So I wish there was some interaction to that. It's really annoying. It's kind of frustrating. I think it's pretty skill expressive, and it's not some super direct change. But if not that, then potentially something with hammer throw. I believe a lot of players just look at this move and say it's dog shit. They're not wrong. It's not dog shit, but it's just not as used as the rest of his moves. His Storm Surge is used to gap close. It's used to get away. It's used to get around. His Awakening is used for a lot of damage, a lot of pressure, a lot of engage. His Lightning Realm is used for the slow. It's used for resetting his Thor Force so you can get more damage out. But his hammer throw is kind of just there as a temporary move that you use whenever you have downtime. And I just wish that there was more going for it besides just that 70 damage move. Potentially used whenever you have downtime, but maybe not used because you have to use your Storm Surge to get away just in case. So if it's on cooldown for 2 seconds, then it feels kind of bad. But they can make it either do max HP so it shreds tanks faster, or they can make it just do more damage to squishies. I don't know how you do that besides just adding direct damage to it. But yeah, I think if you have some way that it could just be used against tanks, that'd be pretty good. I don't see why it can't have % health damage added to it. It's not like if you just go up to a Groot and start hammer throwing him the entire time, it's gonna be like broken, because you know, if you do that, then he can just wall you, and then you have to use your Storm Surge to escape. So you can't just spam hammer throw over and over and over again. You're gonna leave yourself at a cooldown disadvantage. So I don't know. It's not like you come into predicaments where you 1v1 tanks that often, and if you had a viable strategy like that, then it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, just add a viable strategy for Thor to play the game. Don't just make it so he has to dive the back line. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This kind of solidifies Thor and his playstyle at the running at the enemies and diving the enemies in the back line. These are just small things that I would recommend. You know, I wouldn't add anything crazy to his ultimate. I feel like this game is a battle of ultimates, but don't confine into that then. Don't make it so this character has to be an ultimate bot and an awakening bot. Make it so, I don't know, he's got more of a role in the game. And I genuinely do believe that a hammer throw buff or a CC buff in terms of Storm Surge into the wall, that's pretty good. Or maybe like if he hits somebody out of the air, I don't know, something small. I don't know. Give him something to work with. Give me something to do, so it's not just like, don't give me a direct buff like this. Just give me something that I can like actually do better. Yeah, regardless, we'll have to see where Thor ends up being towards the end of the season. But yeah, either way, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to play Thor. I feel like he feels really smooth. He genuinely does use his movement speed buff really well. Hopefully you guys don't quit out on me and go over to Emma Frost, but god damn, I understand. Either way, see ya, boys. I hope the video helped. Hopefully my insight gave you guys more to think about. If you believe that I'm brain dead or I am brain rotted or whatever, leave a comment below. I always read them. I respond to some of them. Other ones I get tilted by. Other ones I smile at. So just know that I read them all. No matter how brain rot the comment actually is, I read them all. So yeah, have a good one, boys.
2 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more